Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man Eeze. Morning walk, part in the wind. Weather is changing in real time. Hope you all are doing well out there. What we talking about today? Let's discuss that new Ghostface, Supreme Clientele, dropping tomorrow, Friday, August 22nd. About 25 years since the initial Supreme Clientele, and a little over a year since his last album, Set the Tone. Another album that was licensed through Mass Appeal. Tracklist is out. A little over 20 tracks, if we're counting the skits. Maybe a little less than 20 tracks, maybe 18. I'm looking forward to it, man. The joints that jump out to me, obviously the Nas joint I'm looking forward to hearing. Love Me Anymore. The joint with Styles P and Conway, Curtis May. You know, Ghostface is a soul head, love soul music. One of the few dudes that can actually rhyme over an actual song, and you still feels infectious, doesn't feel forced. Sample 420, looking forward to that with MOP. Reek the Villain, shout out to the Velt, man. Got 2 features on here. One, the record, The Trial, with some of the Wu members. Chizza, Method Man, I think Raekwon's on that. And they got another joint too, man. L.I. Stand Up. That's a big, good look for him, man. Real rap. I'm looking forward to the album. Expectations are not very high. Yeah, right. Can't have a sequel album and not have expectations, right? But I think he's gonna. I'm not looking for it to be better than Supreme Clientele because that's virtually almost impossible. But what I will say is that I think the quality of music, I'm looking for that to be, for there to be a standard, not just throwaway tracks, an actual solid project. The producers were not listed. That could tell a story as well if we knew who was producing what, not the tracks per se, but that would be some pertinent information, something to look forward to. But yeah, midnight, August 22nd, Supreme Clientele 2 will be dropping. Ghost seems to be enthusiastic about it. Got a nice little press run going, right? Doing some interviews. I think I seen him on Big Boy TV, popped up on my recommendations. Bootleg Kev, maybe some others. What you looking forward to on the album? Any particular track? That's what I should have asked you initially, right? Which track are you looking forward to on Supreme Clientele 2? A video I did surrounded around the song Rap Kingpin. I stated that when an album dropped, I didn't want it to be too many tracks, maybe between 10 or 12. I could be off by a few, but I did say within that range. I stated that amount because that's kind of like the golden area in a sense where it's easy to digest that amount of music and then run it back. Sometimes when you have too many tracks, you can get caught or, have listeners fatigue, or some of it can start to sound like filler, but when you got 5 or 6 skits on a joint, those don't count as tracks. I just hopefully that they keep the album moving seamlessly. But Supreme Clientele 2 is here. Ghostface, after a 1-year absence as far as albums go, set the tone. And 25 years after the initial Supreme Clientele, which happens to be a lot of people's favorite Wu album, or top 5 albums overall. People absolutely love that album. Yo, I got a question for y'all. On both trilogies, KD and Magic, Nas and Hit Boy albums, there's a notable absence, and that would be, I guess, former Mass Appeal artist Dave East. Did you find it odd that he wasn't featured on either trilogy or none of the albums? Now, granted, before some of you go in the comment section acting as though we're attacking Nas or treating Dave East like some charity case, that's not the case. This is just dialogue and discourse. Obviously, Nas gave him an opportunity, gave him a deal, allowed him to be noticed and take off. And that was big, right? But when we think about the albums, like even KD1, there's some other individuals featured on the album that Dave East definitely could have swapped or did exactly what they did times 10. And all parties would have benefited from it. And me loving production, I think that if he works on a KD series or Magic series or is featured on the albums, then he develops a relationship with who? Hit Boy. And possibly that could have led to those two working together, which I think would have been a dope pairing, because he's also worked with other LA producers or Cali producers, Mike and Keys, phenomenal producers, all around, creativity and versatility on steroids, formerly known as the Futuristics. But I think that could have been something that we all would have enjoyed. But here we are. Nas has a method to his madness. The projects were fire nonetheless, you know. But I just think that that's something that came to mind. Dave East was absent from all 6 albums. And I don't think it was a stylistic thing, or maybe it was a scheduling thing, who knows. But there are some slots on there where you could say, oh yeah, that would have been fire. Dave East definitely could have fit on that album. But so let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Either or, I want to hear your opinion, your thoughts, and your insight. I'm about to finish up this walk. As you can see, the sky is looking very gloomy in a sense. I think it's going to start raining once again here in NY. So please remember, you can achieve anything in this world through sheer hard work and patience. God is the greatest. It's your man Eeze at the Eeze Experience. I appreciate y'all. Go get your shit.
Q-Tip, man. The way he was catching samples, like the break beat, like how he was started on the snare as opposed to chopping it from the one. So obviously, boom, bap, the boom would be the kick. He would start the loop from the snare, and it would sound off when you're doing it, but when you put the sample on top, Q-Tip is a monster, man. There's no Andre 3 Stacks without Q-Tip. There's no Kanye. There's no Pharrell. There's no Tyler, the Creator. Q-Tip is the genesis of all of that, son. All of it. And a lot of stuff he has his hands on. The Tribe situation, right? But how he's able to make a contribution to Illmatic, then he can make a contribution to The Infamous. And then you come back with a totally different sound from anything Tribe has done, and you the Love Movement, the Uma. Q-Tip always reinvented himself. Always. Needle dropping on the record. The Renaissance. Listen to it now. Sounds great. Q-Tip is the father of many different styles, man. Project LL and Q-Tip. Someone said Q-Tip compares to Tyler in what way? The same way that Tyler compares himself to Pharrell. Pharrell is Tyler's genesis. That's where it starts from. He'll tell you that. A Pharrell in My Mind album, he glorifies that. He loves that. Without a Q-Tip, is there a Pharrell? It has to start somewhere. Just the freedom, being free with who you are. Speaking about different things.